Hi, Erica from My Two Cookies here. It's an exciting day because I got a dough sheeter. It helps roll out your dough to the thickness that you want, any increments of thickness, and saves your back and your arms and your neck from all the rolling out of the dough. So I thought I would take you along. I'll unbox this and show you what it looks like, show you how it works, show you what I think of it for the first time. So here we go. Real life. Okay, I fully expected to have to put this together, but it came pretty much put together. Just one extra little piece, I think, helps guide it in the right place. And that's it. It came with a little instruction manual and an apron. So this tells you a little bit how to use it, how to oil it a little bit if it needs that. The cord has a Euro type plug, but it did come with an adapter. So we can use the plug that we use here in the States. I did get an electric dough sheeter. You can get one with a hand crank, so you don't use any electricity, which makes it a little more portable and inexpensive. But I thought if I'm gonna save my back and my arms, I might as well get the electric one that I don't have to put much effort into. It's a little bit heavy. I am gonna get a rolling cart that I put it on so I can just roll it around, but I can lift it. It's not as bad as I thought. So the only thing left is to put it to the test. So I'm gonna go make some dough and we'll try it out and see how it goes. Okay, I've got some freshly made dough. We're gonna try this out for the very first time. I haven't tried the dough sheeter yet. This is just my first batch with the dough sheeter. I'm gonna put it between parchment paper so I don't have to get flour all over it and just see if I can run it through with parchment paper on both sides. So it's pretty soft, so I'm just gonna squish it a little bit so I don't have to run it through a few times at different thicknesses. Hopefully just once, we'll see. Okay, I set it at 3/8 inch. I like my cookies at 3/8 inch. So I'm pretty sure this is the thickness. And then there's 2 speeds. So I'm gonna try the faster speed since it's soft dough. And we'll turn it on. Ah! It's the same pitch. Ah! Okay.
Your fingers.
I know, don't get your fingers in it. Okay. And I think you pull it through too while you're going. Maybe. Okay, I needed to put the dough farther down because it's going to squish out the top here, but it's working. Oh boy. Now I know I need to put it not in the center because it squishes out one side, but hey, look at that. That looks pretty good.
You can just give me that a little bit.
You can have the leftover. Oh my gosh, that was it. One time. And then I just need to put it in the right place between the parchment paper. Wasn't thinking through that one. But we can just peel off this end and add it to the next batch here. Success! I'm so excited. Look at that.
Does that look correct?
I think so. Let me get my rolling pin and test it. I mean, if anything, it's smaller. Yeah, it's definitely not bigger than this.
Looks perfect.
It looks the same. That was quick. Oh, not in the center. Move her over. Actually at the edge because it's only going to go that way, right? Okay. This is so exciting. Boom! I got a one piece left. There you go. Nice! It broke a little on the end. Maybe I pulled a little too hard, too fast. But otherwise, looks pretty darn good. So I need a little bit to be able to pull it through. Wonder how thick it can be to put through once. Wow, look at that. Awesome. I'm so excited. This is gonna save me time and back pain. Excellent. Okay, so it's been a few months since I got the dough sheeter, so I wanted to come back and give you an update. And I'm coming at this from a home baker, cottage food license, cookie maker in my home. So this is kind of my opinion from that direction. So if you're just starting out doing a baking business, this is not the first thing I would buy. It is definitely an investment. It is high cost. But what I would do is get it if you are doing a lot of cookies, if you're doing a lot of fondant, marzipan, pasta, I don't know, anything that you roll out. If you're doing a lot of it, it's definitely great. If you're wanting to save your back and your arms, if you need to save those, you may want it. But it's not the first thing I would buy. It's not the first thing I got. I've been doing cookies for about 4.5 years now, and I just now got it. So I wouldn't say it's the first thing to get, but if those things are important to you, if you're doing a lot or you're wanting to save your back and your arms, go for it. I do myself really love it. It has saved my back and my arms, which I was having a lot of trouble with. I think it saves me some time. It takes a little bit of a learning curve to just get used to how fast to pull it, kind of how to work it. But once you get it, I think it does save you some time. If you're like me and you just want to run the dough through once, then you do have to kind of squish it a little flat in order to do it. I like my cookies at 3/8 inch, and so I have to squish it a little so that I only have to run it through once. If you don't, and you want to run it through and you don't want to have to squish it or use your arms at all, then you'll just have to change the thickness. Run it through at a thicker thickness, and then change the notch, run it through again thinner till you get to the thickness that you want. And speaking of the notches where you're switching thickness, it doesn't have anything written on the side, no exact measurements. And so you do have to play around with it and figure out where the thickness is that you want. And I like mine at 3/8 inch. And so once I figured out which notch that is for the handle, then it's fine. As personal preference too, I like to roll my dough, my cookie dough, through 2 pieces of parchment paper. And that way I don't add more flour to it and dry out my cookie. It keeps my dough sheeter clean. And so that's how I like to do it. So it does take a little bit to tug that through because of the parchment paper. It's not that slippery. So if you want to not have to use any arm power at all, then you would just flour it and do it with flour and it should slip right through. So, but for me, I like the parchment paper, and so it does take a little bit of tug. And then in a perfect dream world, I would be able to do cold dough right out of the fridge, right through the dough sheeter. I don't know what that would take. Probably one of those YouTube videos where they're crunching metal, something like that. So I think this does its job for what it's supposed to do. Just that would be my dream someday. So it doesn't do cold dough. You need room temperature dough. And it is a little heavy. It's about 40 pounds. So if you don't want to carry it around every time you want to use it, you might want a permanent space in your kitchen. I don't feel like I have room for it. I'm not using it every day, all day. So I got a stainless steel rolling cart for it. And that works perfectly. I just roll it out when I'm doing my dough, put it next to the counter and plug it in, and it's good to go. So overall, I do love it for what I use it for, and I'm super excited to use it on marzipan cake and fondant, stuff like that. And a little bit about the company that comes from Ukraine. Eugene, who makes these, was really, really great with customer service. I had a ton of questions. Every time I asked him a question, quick response. And then when I decided on it, shipping was so fast, I couldn't believe it. I think it was a day or two is all. So I just got it off of Etsy. And so customer service is really good, and I know he would help you with any issues that you have. So that's it. Happy baking, and I'll see you next time. Why do you do that? Am I supposed to do that?
Start it again. Take action.
No.
Come on.
Never works like that.
Yes. And action.